Girbeagly!
Hey there guys and gals, it's Girbeagly with another episode of Gaming with Girbeagly, and I'm once again playing the game Katawa Shoujo. Now it's been a month since I've touched this game last. I know, it doesn't feel like that to me. Maybe to some of you guys, I know, because the cliffhanger that we left off on last episode was absolutely bonkers. Now I'm giving this a try. The whole reason I haven't been able to record is my throat has been really dry because, I was just getting over a sickness recently, and at the same time, it's really dry in my apartment due to it being winter, so it's very hard for my voice to recover during this time. But I'm going to do my damnedest to do some voices, get this series back on a roll, because I'm so sick of waiting to find out why Emmy's hurt, what's going on, what's it gonna mean for the future, where her and Hasao's dating is going, etc. So last episode we took her out to a picnic quick, then we went to the track for a run, and it turns out that she is indeed hurt. So as she turns to begin walking, she gives out a tiny yelp and stumbles forward. Emmy! I leap to steady her and notice with some concern that she's favoring the same leg as last night. Your leg. Emmy seems panicked and pushes away from me.
It's fine.
My expression must seem hurt because she hastens to apologize.
Sorry. Didn't mean to push you like that. I was just...
She stumbles for something to say.
It's nothing, really.
Hey, don't worry about it. She's so flustered I decide to shrug the whole thing off. But there's a cold feeling in the pit of my stomach now that won't go away. I tried to step in and help her, and she pushed me away. Smiling, I shove those thoughts to the back of my mind and concentrate on Emmy. I just don't want you getting hurt, that's all.
You don't have to worry about me, honest. I'm fine.
Yes, you say that, but I don't believe you. Why won't you tell me what's wrong? It's like she gets offended by me trying to help. What am I supposed to make of that? I'm still trying to sort out what happened on the track as we arrive in front of the nurse's office. Emmy raises her hand to knock, hesitates, and turns to me, smiling guiltily.
Hey, can you do me a favor?
Of course.
Can you tell the nurse that I'll see him later? I just remembered that I've got some stuff to take care of before class. So I really need to get moving.
Uh-oh, Emmy being shady. She really doesn't want to get looked at. She's going to get scolded, that's why, and it might be something more serious that the nurses warned her about before. I peer at her closely and she fidgets under my stare. Yeah, she's clearly just avoiding the nurse. That leg of hers, well, whatever. I said I'd help, and so I will. But I'll make damn sure she sees the nurse before the day's out. Yeah, okay, I'll let him know. Emmy looks like I've just given her a pony on Christmas.
Thank you so much. You're the best, Hasao.
And I can already feel and hear my throat kind of going a little bit doing Emmy's voice. It's so high-pitched, but I'm going to try to persevere for this episode. I'm rewarded for my complicity but in her lie by a kiss that makes it all worth it, or so I tell myself. And once again, we're returning to the horrible reading issues that I have. Oh my god. As Emmy heads out of the building, trying hard not to let her limp show, I knock on the door of the office. Ah, Hasao, come on in. I don't see Emmy with you. She's not sick again, is she? It's going to be so hard also for me to remember all of the accents and voices that I have for characters. Oh god. Here we go. From the tone of his voice, I don't think the nurse is expecting me to say yes, she's ill. She said that she'd forgotten to do something, and so she had to skip out, but she'll see you later today. The nurse heaves an exasperated sigh. Honestly, that girl. She's been avoiding me. Yesterday she was in and out here without even taking off her prosthetics, and now this. Well, at least it's not just me and Emmy, just me Emmy doesn't want worrying. That's a comfort, I guess. Still, I feel like I should say something about her leg. I said I'd lie for her, but she really needs to see him. Now that you mention it, she was limping pretty badly today, and last night as well. The nurse's eyes narrow at the words last night. And what exactly were you two doing last night? We were, on a date. The nurse raises his eyebrows as if surprised. Really? Interesting. Huh? Oh, nothing. His gaze turns thoughtful, and then he grins at me. You don't think you could use some of that boyfriend charm to get her to come see me today, could you? Of course. I was planning on doing that anyway. I think she's really hurt and just pretending she isn't. Yes, she does that. Afraid I'll make her stop running. Will you? I don't like to, but if it's bad enough that she's been limping, well, I guess I'll have to see what's wrong for myself before I make that call. I see. Emmy not allowed to run? Perish the thought. I don't know if she'd be able to function without running. No wonder she's reluctant to admit anything's wrong. Well, I'll make sure she sees you. Good. Oh, and before I forget... He grins at me again in what feels like a vaguely threatening manner. Don't forget that I know what medications you're on. You be careful around Emmy. Got it? Wow, he looks serious too. Got it. Don't hurt Emmy. Wouldn't dream of it. Grand. I'd hate for you to be late. Huh? Late is in the late, Hisao. Nakai. God damn it. I don't remember any of their names or their voices. 1 month is a long time for this brain. It has a lot of games crammed up in here. He frowns briefly, dissatisfied. Sounded better in my head. Well, at any rate, get out of here before you miss your first class. You got things to do, I'm sure. Shoo! As I leave, I notice the nurse pulling out his phone and dialing a number. Mako, your daughter's being a pain in the ass again. I better head back to my room, or I really will be late. So that's obviously Emmy's mom, once again, who we met at the track meet, and it sounds like her and the nurse are friends, which is good. Or maybe not a friend, or maybe not friends, but at least acquaintances. Hey, wasn't he supposed to check my heart rate? The lunch bell sounds, and I bring myself out of the stupor I slept into during the morning's classes. My lack of sleep last night, coupled with the increased pace of this morning's run, has left me a little exhausted. Despite that, I find myself skipping stairs up to the roof. Excuse me, guys, I got the burpees already. God damn, 7 minutes in, and they come back to curse me. There's a thrill of excitement now, in addition to the pleasure one gets from eating lunch with one's friends. True, both Emmy and Rin are still my friends, but Emmy has become more than that now. Rin is back in her usual spot on the roof, almost as if she'd never been absent. Oh my god, she looks so funny there. Feeling better, I take it? A raised eyebrow is my reward for speaking.
Better than what?
Better than you felt yesterday. Rin gives my question some serious thought.
I'm not sure. I think I might have felt rather good for some of yesterday, but it's all fuzzy.
Too much cold medicine?
Well, I was asleep, and that usually is pretty good. But I can't remember what it feels like to be asleep because I'm not conscious for it. It's a real problem.
I love Rin. Rin has the best dialogue of all time.
Then again, if I knew how good it felt, I might not sleep anymore. But this way I keep trying, so I guess that's how I can keep from being overtired.
An eternal mystery to keep you sleeping at night?
Maybe mystery's the wrong word. Intangibility might be the proper way to describe it.
I see. No, I don't see it at all. I have no idea what she's talking about, but that's okay, since I rarely do. I know what she's talking about, Hisao. It's hilarious, and it's awesome, and it's like sort of looping logic. I seriously miss these characters so much. Being away from them for a month felt like, you know, like seeing them again and like getting to read their lines again. I feel like I'm visiting old friends. It's really great. I love this game.
Do you remember what sleeping feels like? Like yesterday. Do you remember what you felt like sleeping yesterday?
Well, I actually didn't get a lot of sleep yesterday.
Maybe that's because you remember subconsciously.
Actually, I think I was worrying about Emmy.
Doesn't Emmy worry enough about herself?
I hadn't considered that, but it gives me a pause. True, but would she ask for help if she needed it? Rin frowns and I raise an eyebrow. Will I get a proper answer?
Probably not. Is there something she should be asking for help with?
Her leg, for starters. This seems to catch Rin's interest.
Leg?
It's hurt, but she won't see the nurse about it. Rin shakes her head in disapproval.
You have to make her. Like, she makes me go to class, for her own good. Otherwise she could lose her legs again, and that's just too weird. Losing things twice. Especially if you don't find them again to begin with. Unless prosthetics are the same as finding something. But that's a different kind of lost, isn't it?
I think so.
I wonder.
Wonder what?
Or wonder what?
Goddamn, I didn't realize that was Emmy. Emmy seems to have snuck up on Rin and me, though Rin doesn't seem especially surprised, which is itself unsurprising, I suppose. Rin manages to sit herself upright quite expertly, throwing her upper body forward and using her momentum to right herself. Your leg, how's it feel? That earns me a frown and a bit of a glare.
It's okay, I think. Not worth worrying about.
Tell that to the nurse. He's quite insistent that you visit him, you know? Emmy pouts like I've just told her she's been grounded.
He worries too much. It's not a big deal, just a little soreness.
Wow, that voice fluctuation there, damn. I think I need a sip of water quick. Just real quick. I try to resist rolling my eyes in exasperation. If it's nothing, then you should have no problem seeing him, right? Emmy narrows her eyes suspiciously.
Did he put you up to this?
Well, maybe. A little. But that's not the point. I would have reminded you to see him anyway. It would be terrible to see you really hurt and not doing anything about it. That would make it worse, and I don't really want to see you hurt, you know? Call me crazy, but I kind of prefer to see you happy and healthy. With each statement, Emmy's frown fades a little more until eventually she's grinning, albeit a little shyly.
Well, if you're going to put it that way, then I guess I'll have to see him.
Aw, yay! We made Emmy come around.
Otherwise, you'll keep worrying, and then I'll never hear the end of it, right?
That's right. I'll keep bugging you about it, and that might put a damper on our dates. How's the food, Hisao? Talk to the nurse, Emmy. How's your day, Hisao? Talk to the nurse, Emmy. Hisao, I think I'm ready to go all the way. Talk to the nurse, Emmy. Whoa, Hisao, freaking making those suggestions. See, it doesn't work that well. Emmy giggles at my high-pitched rendition of her own voice and gives me an affectionate shove.
My voice isn't that high, jerk.
Actually, Emmy, it is. I'm doing it right now and it's very high. Oh god, that face she's making too.
I thought it was pretty accurate.
Oh, Rin, you're funny. Emmy and I stare at Rin for a while before I burst into laughter. That was weird that the text sort of took a second to pop up there. Emmy crosses her arms and huffs, mock offended.
You're both jerks.
Such vile calumnies from you, young woman. I don't know what that word is, actually. That's funny. I used to be an English major back in the day, before I switched over to psychology and became a psych counselor. But before that, I was an English major, and I had a rather large lexicon, as us English majors used to like to say. But anyway, I don't know what that word is. I'll have to look it up. Or you guys can leave me a nice definition in the comments. Whatever. I'm stunned that you would call me, of all people, a jerk. Honestly, I don't know what to think. Emmy sticks her tongue out at me.
You ass. So, Rin, how's the art club these days?
Rin seems seemingly as surprised by the sudden change of topic as I am, takes a minute to think before answering.
I believe it's okay. Although Nomiya keeps...
Nomiya, once again, I'm going to slaughter every Japanese name that comes my way. Get ready for the fun, guys.
Although Nomiya keeps telling me to work harder. But I don't think he understands my methods. He always struck me as slightly creepy.
Rin ponders a statement for a while.
I've never really noticed. But I don't pay much attention to him most days, so maybe that's why.
How often do you meet?
Thinking of joining Hisao?
What? Nah, I've already decided to join a club.
Really? Which one?
Well, it's not really much of a club, to be honest.
Oh, you joined the tea club?
No, I joined the science club, I think. Emmy looks highly confused.
You have a science club?
Not really, it's just me.
So, that's not a club. That's sitting in your room reading books.
No, I mean, it's just me and Muto. I'm just the only student so far.
Muto? Really?
A thought strikes her. I'm accidentally clicking way too fast, by the way. I'm excited to progress the story, guys. I'm so excited to be back in this game.
Oh, is that what you were talking about yesterday? Your meeting with Muto?
Yeah, that was our first meeting, I guess. Emmy giggles.
Nerd.
Hey, I can't help being clever.
You know, I could have used your help years ago. You should have had your heart attack earlier in life, Hisao.
That's pretty morbid. I laugh and then realize this is probably one of the very rare times I've laughed about my heart attack. Hindsight.
Yeah.
The ringing of the bell ends our conversation. Guess we'd better go.
Yeah, I guess so. Come on, Rin, you too.
Rin has apparently begun to doze off, so Emmy gives her a sharp bump.
I almost had it. Sorry, but you need to go to class. I disagree, but maybe if I nap in class, I'll get it this time. Changing location is sometimes helpful for that kind of thing.
Neither Emmy or I bother asking what it is. Oh god, the painting! I forgot all about it. God, look at that guy thing. Mole person? I don't know. As we arrive at my classroom, Emmy gives me a quick kiss and heads down the hallway, Rin in tow. Aw, how cute. Oh, hey! It's goddamn, I'm forgetting. I'm blanking. Misha and Shizune. Yes, brain. Told ya. I turned to enter the classroom to be met by the duo of Shizune and Misha. Oh god, it was right on the screen. I could have read that the entire time, but instead I was busy looking at Mole Face Guy and wiping a piece of spit off my screen. Not that you guys needed to know that. Misha seems to be fighting a losing battle to keep from breaking into a fit of giggles while she translates Shizune's latest rant.
While we are pleased, nay thrilled, to see how well you've managed to make new friends and forge relationships, and with such a cutie too, Hee-chan.
I think that last part was probably Misha.
We nevertheless feel compelled to politely remind you that public displays of affection are strictly forbidden. Really? That's disappointing, Shi-chan. By Section 8 of the Code of Conduct laid out in the Student Handbook. In this case, however, ignorance of the law may be your excuse as we are feeling lenient.
I love that Shizune and Misha come around to like bust Hisao's balls all the time. It's pretty hilarious.
And the paperwork required to punish the both of you would only add to the already mountainous...
Excuse me, I got the burpees real bad, guys.
...volume of work which confronts us, the sole members of the Student Council, and besides, you two are adorable together. Therefore, consider this a formal warning, and please refrain from such displays in the future, at least when Shizune can see you, Hee-chan.
This whole spiel is so patently ridiculous that I can't help but reply in the same pompous manner. Well, I for one feel enlightened. I apologize profusely for my rash actions and will strive to contain my baser impulses, which I feel impel me toward such inappropriate displays of public affection. It's hardly my wish to burden an already overworked student council with such petty manners. I will do my best to make your lives easier in this matter in the future. At least when Shizune is watching. This last line is delivered with a wink to Misha, who finally loses control of her laughter.
Wah! Well said, Hee-chan.
Chuckling a little myself, we enter the classroom. Oh, I like those two now. They're not like bitchy at Hisao anymore. They're just having friendly banter with him, which I dig. Class is uneventful, and after the final bell rings, I find myself alone with Muto again. So, it looks like we've all assembled for the second meeting of the Science Club. Or is it the first? What do you think? Should we count yesterday as a meeting? Well, we did form the club yesterday, didn't we? That seems like club business, so we can safely call yesterday a meeting. Muto smiles in his usual stilted and awkward way. I wonder if the muscles in his face are just not shaped correctly to let him smile naturally. You really do have a knack for this, I think. Logical thought processes, that is. I like that Muto's just like a lonely dude who just like wants to do something with his time. I guess so? A scientist speaks with authority, Hisao. The answer here is yes, I do. When the world wants to know how it works, we tell it, even if all we've got is a decent hypothesis. But we must sound certain anyway, because we're the authorities on the subject, right? He chuckles to go along with his awkward smile at that awkward joke. I'm doing my best not to grimace, but I don't think I'm being too successful. That's entirely false, of course. We know a lot, sure, but nobody's an expert on how the world works, if only because nobody can be sure. With no certainty, there are no experts. But we like to pretend sometimes. There's some things we can be certain of, right? Yes, but no. We know gravity's there, for example. To illustrate, Muto picks up a pencil and drops it. See? Still there, but it's good to check every once in a while. That's why you'll still see researchers mucking about with gravity. We're pretty sure we know how it works, but there's always a chance that something isn't how we think it is. So you check and check and check. That's science in a nutshell, Hisao. The whole time I've listened, feeling rather spellbound. Muto seems to be really passionate about this stuff, I think. It's hard to tell sometimes. How the world works, how humans work, how the universe works. All these questions to be answered, and depending on what I go into, maybe I could even figure out a way to fix my heart. That said, I don't think that's a real priority for me. I love thinking about that stuff too. Like when I have free time, sometimes my brain just wanders and I'm just like, damn, humans, damn the universe, damn the world. Like everything's really, really freaking cool. If you just think about it, and like how small we are as human beings. And I'm not going to get into it because I'm just going to ramble for 45 minutes, but let's continue the story. Besides, as we start discussing the book you gave me yesterday, I find myself more and more interested in that than my heart condition. And that's actually probably a good place to end off, guys, on that transition. I love the fact that we've been doing this again, or that we returned to this. We've been doing this again. That sounds so weird, but it really is a we thing. It is me and it is you guys. You guys are so awesome, so supportive of the series. I know that so many of you are bummed that I haven't been doing it over the past few weeks, but here it is. We're back into it. I'm going to make sure that I can at least do one of these like every other day or something along those lines. We'll see with the PAX schedule how that goes. We'll figure it out. I do need to give my throat a little bit of a rest, so we're going to cut it off right here, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to hit the like button, share the video, and favorite it. Also, be sure to subscribe to me if you guys haven't already. For those of you who have, thank you so much for all of your support. You guys are the best in the world. I love every single one of you, and as always, it was great seeing ya. Bye-bye. Aw, you got... Aw, she went with him. Oh, they're falling. Whoa, this is intense. Everybody's gonna fall down and go boom and hurt their bum-bums. There we go, guys. Game over. Whole game right there.